Bright Duty. Every student matters.
Welcome to your lesson in math where you are going to learn about data handling. I hope you remember in the last class we learned about handling data, how we can recognize the data, how we can organize the data, and also we learned a bit about the pictographs, right? So now in this lesson we are going to learn how to draw these pictographs and how we can manage the data using pictograph. So let us start our today's lesson, that is drawing pictograph. So by the end you'll be comfortable with the same. Let us start with drawing a pictograph. So what it says, drawing a pictograph is an interesting task, but it may be difficult to draw some difficult pictures repeatedly as we had used cars or tractors in pictograph. So what can we do? We can use easy symbols to draw a pictograph. Okay, so far what we learned in pictograph was that we were making images of say cars or tractors or even a face of a child in order to represent the data. But if you want to use even bigger data, you want to represent big amount of data, it's really difficult that you keep on drawing these big images of tractors, cars, etc. So what can we do in that case? In that case, we are going to use some symbols instead of using these pictures themselves, and it's also called as a pictograph. Okay, here you are using the pictures of symbols, but it is still the same, that is a pictograph. It says that we must use a proper key of the symbol so that it could be easily understood by anyone. So let us see what we mean by this. Let us look at this example. Okay, so here it says the following table shows the choice of the fruits of the 35 students in class 3. Represent the data in the pictograph. So what you see in front of you is the name of certain fruits that is given, and corresponding to it you see how we are writing the number of students. So I hope you remember in the last class we learned about data frequency distribution table, right? How we were managing the data, how we were organizing it with the help of frequency table. This is something similar. Here we see that name of fruits is given, and corresponding to it we can see the number of students, right? So now let us see how we can represent this data using pictograph. Okay, so here what you see in front of you, it says the solution is that let one, so this particular image where you see a something child kind of an image, this image is going to represent two students. And if we are just drawing this much, let me take a black pen. Okay, so if we are drawing just this much, it will then represent only one student. So do you see here, this basically the student image that you see, it is representing two students, and this is kind of a symbol that we are using, right? So now instead of using all those faces, instead of those, we are just putting this symbol, kind of a child symbol that we are using. And when this complete symbol is seen, it is two students, and when just a single stick is seen with the top head, it is one student. So let us see how many mangoes and how many number of students are representing that mango was their preference. So clearly when you see the whole image, it represents two students. So 1, 2, we see the complete images, and 1 is this half image, right? So 2 times 2 is 4 and plus 1. So this is representing 5 students. Let us check. So we are correct. It was representing 5 students. Now let us check something else. Say we are checking for the lychee that is given. So we see that 3 complete figures are seen. So 3 complete figures means 6 students, right? 3 times by 2, and we see 1 half, that is this kind of an image, so it is 1 more, so 6 plus 1, that is 7 students. Let us check. So look here, at lychee we have got 7 students. I hope this is clear how we can read these pictographs. And here we can see that earlier we were either using, like when we were using a complete face of a girl and half face if it was seen, so we see that half particular image that we see is basically roughly half of that. Now we are exactly mentioning that if you see this half image, it is just representing one student. Okay, so this is how we are using simple images, or we can say we are using symbols in order to draw these pictographs. Let us draw a pictograph using this example so that we are clear with what we are doing. It says the following are the details of the number of students present in a class of 30 during a week. Okay, so the total number of students from a class of 30 during a week, and it says that how many are present on a particular day. So on Monday 24 are present, on Tuesday 26 are present, on Wednesday 28, Thursday 30, Friday 29 and Saturday 22 students are present. Okay, so we need to represent it by a pictograph. We are also going to use the same image. Say we are going to use this in order to represent. So it is 24. Now this comes a concept to, in order to understand logically that how many students you are going to represent by single picture that you are drawing. Okay, so say by this particular image that I have drawn, I am going to represent say 6 students with this one single image. Okay, and if you see this kind of image only with 2 hands, say, so it is representing 4 students. Okay, if you are seeing this kind of image only this much, you will see 2 students, and if you just see a single O, that means 1 student. Okay, so here we are using these symbols in order to break down the numbers according to our given data. Okay, so this is how we can simplify these images by simply like in the first one, as you can see, we have this complete face. Then in the next one we can use half of these hands, and then we are removing the hands and the leg parts, and then we have used just a single head part to represent a single child. Okay, so let us see how we can draw this particular pictograph. So first what we need is, we need a box, right, where in the first part we are going to write down, what is this? It is the days that we have to write. So this is days, and so this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is a holiday, so everyone is absent on that day. Now what we need is, we need number of students present. So number of students present. Okay, so I'll just draw certain lines in between so that we can just clearly see the division between the days. Okay, now in the first one we need to represent 24. Okay, so how can we represent 24? See here, we have this full complete symbol, like this particular child like symbol, which represents the number 6. So do you think we can represent the number 24 by making 6, like using an image which represents 6 in it? So 6 items are basically represented by this one single symbol. Okay, so how many such symbols do we need? So do what is 6 times, 6 times what number gives you 24? So it is 4, right? So what we need to draw is, we are going to draw 4 such symbols. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what we notice here, every single symbol that we have drawn, it represents 6 students. Okay, so we can write it here that when we draw this particular symbol, complete one, it represents 6 students. When we are going to draw like this with just the hand part, it is representing 4 students. If we are drawing just a single head and the stick part, it is representing 2 students. And if you just see a single O, it is representing 1 student. Okay, so we have used 4 such complete symbols in order to represent 24 students on Monday that were present. Okay, now let us see what is next. On Tuesday we need to represent 26. So 26. So in order to represent 26, let us use first 4 complete images. So far what we have done is, we have made till 24. Now it was 26. We need 2 more. So let us use the symbol where we have got to represent 2. I'm sorry, this is not the 2 one. Okay, in the 2 we don't even have the hands. Okay, so here this one represents 2. So now what is total? 6, 6, 6, 6. That is in total of 24. 24 plus 2 is 26. So this one was representing 24. Now this one is representing 26. Moving to Wednesday. On Wednesday it is 28. So let us start again. So 1, 2, so 6, we are going in 6 times table. So 6, 12, 18, 24. Now we were supposed to make 28, right? So we are done till 24, right? So how much we need more? We need 4. So let us use the symbol which represents 4. So with the head and the hands part. So this represents 28. I hope this makes sense. Now moving to Thursday. On Thursday it is 30, right? So 30 is there in 6 times table. Let us draw 5 complete figures. So 6 times 1 is 6, times by 2 is 12, times by 3 is 18, times by 4 is 24, times by 5 is 30. So 5 such images represent 30 students. Clear? Then comes the next one, that is 29. So let us draw here 1, 2, 3, 4. So far we have drawn for 24 students, right? So we need 29. So let us draw, this is 24. So we need 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. We need 5 more. So 5 can be taken as, we can put the image of 4 and then we can have image of 1. Okay. So here this gives the total of 29 students. Moving ahead to Saturday, right? So let us see how many it is. It is 22. Again, let us start with the 6 times table. So let us first write here the number is 22, or else we might forget later. So this is 6, 12, 18, then 19, 20, 21, 22. We need 4 more. So what can we use? We can use this particular image to represent 4 more. So this is how we have used this particular symbol in order to represent the data. Rather than making the complete image of a face or something, we are using a simple symbol, and how we distribute the symbol depending upon the numbers that are given in the data. Moving ahead to the next one. Here it says, the following are the number of electric bulbs purchased for a lodging house during the first 4 months of a year. Represent the details by a pictograph. So this is what we are going to do here. Let us draw a pictograph for this particular image. So it says number of bulbs, right? So here in the first one we see 20, 26, 30, 34. Let us see what number is appropriate in order to draw the number of bulbs, right? So I think if we choose the number 4, it will be appropriate to draw and represent these number of bulbs, by using 4 as the unit, right? So let us draw this kind of image for bulb. So this will be the complete image for bulb, right? And if this represents 4, so let us say if we are just drawing this part of this image, it is representing 2. Okay, so now let us draw here. Sorry, I'll just put a box there. Okay, so let us use this particular box in a bit lighter shade. Okay, so now let us divide this into, okay, so now here will be months. So let us write months, and here we have got number of bulbs. Number of bulbs. Okay, so here the months are January, February, March and April. So January, February, March, and April. Right, so these are the 4 months for which we need to draw these pictographs. In the first one, we have got for January 20. So 20 bulbs we are going to represent. So as we have thought, what we are going to do is we are going to use the complete image of a bulb with this covering, which will represent 4. And if we just use this filament part, it will be 2, right? So in order to represent, let's just write the numbers 20, 26, 30, 34. So this one is 20, 26, 30, and this one was 24. Let's just I'm sorry, it was 34, right? So we are going to represent these numbers using the pictograph. So here, let us see how many bulbs, complete images we need to draw in order to have 20 as the number of bulbs. So for how many times you have got 20? Say 4 times what number gives you 20? It is 5. So we need to draw 5 such images. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so 5 such bulbs represents 20 because each bulb is representing 4. Clear? So it is 4 times 5, that is 20. Now the next one is 26 for February. So let us draw how many do we need? So starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So till 5 it is 20. Now we are drawing one more, so it will be 24. Now we need 2 more after 24. So let us draw one half image. So this is just a half image without the covering so that it represents 2. Clear? Coming to March, it represents 30. Right? So 30, it is not in 4 times table. Let's see when we can go ahead. So we know that in 4 times table, so 4 times means, so 4 times 7 will give us 28, right? So we need to draw 7 such so that we reach till 28, and then we'll draw for 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it is 7. So we have drawn 28 number of bulbs. Now we need 2 more to make it 30. So we'll draw just a half image. Clear? Now coming to the last one, that is April, and there we have got 34 we need to draw. So let's go by the 4 times table. 4 times 1 is 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, and after 32 if we go next to the next number, it will be 36. That's bigger. So what we need 2 more. So what we'll do, we'll draw a half image that represents 2. Clear? So how we have drawn all these bulbs with representing the numbers as in the where this full complete symbol represents 4 and half of that symbol without the filament part represents 2.